every time he sees me, he's like, ah, and he pinches my cheek really hard. He's just always been that way. And one time he really liked hockey, and he got tickets to the Sioux game from his brother, and he said, let's all go to the hockey game. And so my family all went with him, and we were pulling into the parking lot to park, and he's like, no, we don't park back here. And we're like, what? And he's like, no, Jim, pull up to my dad. And we pull up, and they stop us, and he rolls down the window, and they wave us to the front parking lot, so we got to go sit up front. And another common theme that's been going through the whole, everyone talking tonight is he was the kind of for free food anytime he could get. He ate supper with us all the time. He would walk, so we'd always walk by our house when we were out on the farm roadside. He'd stop and visit. And I think my mom still owed him like 72 meals or something. He kept track with the number never went down, and always went up. So he was a big part of our family, and we still always visited. We still brought him cookies on Christmas, just this last Christmas my parents did. And he did a lot for our family. We were so fortunate to have him take her for those 10 years.
Hi, my name is Matt Noah, and I'm a nephew of Father Tim, one of John's sons, the oldest sons. And, we see two different sides here. There's people who are his parishioners who knew him through the parish that he served in. And there's family who know a different side of him. And how many of you have seen the old movie White Christmas with Bing Crosby and all that? And you recall that kind of the theme of that was, there's this old retired general, and Bing Crosby, and they want to do something nice for him. They want to bring back, because he's not a general anymore. He doesn't have his soldiers to command and such. And so in the last year and a half, what we had here was a retired priest who was in a restaurant, and he didn't have a congregation per se. And so it just sort of happened. We all would start going to Mass at the restaurant. And we kind of, left our parishes for that Sunday. And we formed a new parish. And we had a parish priest who was our own. And it kind of made me think a little bit about White Christmas and the fact that I think one of the best gifts we gave him in the last year and a half of his life was being his congregation, being his parish. And God has a funny way of working, because it brought all of us together. And now we almost are thinking, gee, we need to get together on Sunday after church as his extended family. And it kind of hit me, and I told my wife Susan just the other day, I almost want to go and look for a retired priest in a nursing home who doesn't have a congregation and bring him a congregation. Because what does a priest do when he's retired? Just like what does a general do when he's retired in Vermont? And I thank God for his priesthood, Father Bob, for your priesthood, and your speech, which I sometimes call I want to be like him. From the retirement party, I see two other priests over here and one priest here. It's just really good to see that. I can relate a few things that just kind of hit me. When you're a young man and you're off at school or your first job, and you see the world, and you see different value systems and things pulling you in different directions. You can earn money and buy a house or whatever. And you kind of evaluate people, and you kind of evaluate things, and you say, gee, where's my rock? Where's my foundation? Because you kind of go and look at different things. And you kind of say, gee, where is there real value in life? And you look back at, my uncles, the two priests. I actually had three priests, one on my mom's side as well. And you kind of look at their example in life. And kids and young people have a way of spotting hypocrisy right away. Someone who says one thing but does another. And I don't know about the first few years of his life, but all of my life that I can remember, and I'm only 54, he was 91, there wasn't a hypocritic bone in that man's body. He lived what he preached day in, day out. I don't think he could tell a lie. I don't think he could teachings, and the examples were solid, and they're continuing to be solid, and that's a great gift that I hope everybody has. I know we had it in our family. It's been kind of our bedrock, and I hope that you saw it, Father Tim. I think you did because you're here tonight to honor and pay respects and pray for this man and his soul. But yeah, I did see him as an uncle. And at different times in my life, I thought he was almost Christ himself. He was his booming voice, very command. There was nothing, gee, I don't really know what I believe. That wasn't Father Tim. It was, this is what it is. No questions. And the only time that he wasn't in command was when he was with his older sisters, who were kind of the matriarchs, if you will. And some of the family know that, okay? But Father Tim was, you kind of wondered, he didn't look like the rest of them, but there was a little bit something different about him. He was the only brother that knew where the engine was and could fix it. Okay? The rest of them, I don't know if they could fix a circuit breaker or a light bulb. Uncle Joe was a great intellectual, a great lawyer. Father Dan had more the artsy side. My dad was friends to everybody, and Mr. Outgoing and the athlete. And here the oldest boy was kind of the bedrock of them all. And except for the girls, everybody kind of marched to what Father Tim was talking about and saying and doing. I don't know, if we raise a hand, how many of you ever had a sacrament from Father Tim? I bet you the whole place would go up. Marriages, everybody in our family who was married. All the baptisms, all of that. And so when I look back and I think of his gift to the world and to us, it was definitely his faith and the way he lived his life. And you don't see that too often. There was no scandal in his life. He is what he is. He was a great priest. He was a great uncle. We miss him. Thanks.
So what's new? That's the first thing you hear out of when you visit. What's new? Tell me the truth. See, the truth is pretty easy when it comes to you. No such time. Anyway, my whole life, I've had two uncle fathers. I don't have any common. This was my uncle, my father, and my friend, all in one. A real good man. We all have stories. They all one. And overlaps family, overlaps teaching or something. Overlaps, one of the things like this. I was pretty lucky. Yeah. I got to go fishing a lot. And a lot of other days with him. One particular fishing trip, Paul, Noah, and I, we decided we should go up and go fishing. Called up him, he says, yeah, when are you going to get here? Let's go fishing. So we went fishing one day. And, great day. The boat ran. We rented it, of course. It was none of Father Tim's boats would ever run. Because he never worried about material things. He'd always be able to get it his way. The three of us went out fishing one day. Early, beautiful day. Lake of the Woods, we had a calm day, and walk small, but pretty rare. So that